Love you, bud. All right. There we go. Hello. Once again, I was having technical difficulties. I thought I fixed my camera, but it didn't work. So I had to start over again. And now I get to finish. Okay. There we go. So I did put the camera, my phone on a different stand. So hopefully that's a better view. And just pull up the chat on my other screen here. Well, luckily there isn't too much left to do. So, plus it'll still be up. So if you decide to watch later. Okay, I'm not going to mess with all that stuff. We just fixed my, top chat to live chat. There we go. All right. Let me see here. I think it's getting a, nope, all good. All right, so my phone is silent now. I don't have text messages coming through. Okay. So I did go ahead and close my zipper pocket from the last live just so I could get that out of the way. I don't know why I'm trying to line these up. It's not going to work. It's just easier to do individual. I wasn't able to get my camera to pick up on that other live stream that I had going, so I had to start a new one. All right, so it's 1/4, 1/8, 1/8. I feel kind of bad because my son was just down here wanting to hang out, but he was wanting to watch the TV and he likes to turn it up. I don't need copyright strikes. Sorry, kiddo. So he went to go watching his TV. He can curl up with me later. Yes, the shale clay is absolutely from Mormino. I am in love with this stuff. I don't love how thick it gets when you start to layer it, but other than that, it feels amazing. Before I used to compare it to leather, but I think it's closer to more specifically suede. So hi, Keeves. What are you doing? What are you doing? Why are you looking at me like that? Psycho dog. It does. It's not too bad. It does stretch relatively easy. That's part of the problem. When you layer it, it slides against itself. Hello. You are on time. I wasn't. I had initially set my video to go live at 8:30 Central, so 15 minutes ago. And I thought I had fixed my camera, but my laptop, it's got 3 connection ports, and my converter was really loose in 2 of the ports. So when I got it in the 3rd port and set it up so that it was working with the plug and play, it decided that it wasn't going to actually connect to YouTube. So I sat there for the end of Liz's live with YouTube prepped and ready to go with the timer set. And I could see my screen and it wasn't saying that it was being used by another app or anything, which is the error that I've been getting. And I was like, sweet, everything's functioning. We're good to go. And then I hit go live and it was loading and loading and loading and loading and loading. So I refreshed the page, went live, loading, loading, loading. We cannot connect to your camera because it's being used by another device. I'm like, are you kidding me? It just sat there for half an hour functioning just fine. And now all of a sudden it doesn't connect. So I just need to replace that laptop. It's ancient. All right. So I don't know if any of you have seen this trick. If you fold the zipper, not all zippers will do this because some of them are a lot tougher than others. But if you fold the zipper back in on itself by about 1/2 inch, and then you want to sew from the free corner diagonally towards the zipper teeth, and then on the other side from the teeth down to the corner, you will get a perfect bow pretty much when you stitch it. And I should be switching to my zipper foot for this, but I'm not going to. I'll still get the same effect. It just won't look as pretty. I'm going to hold it with my hemostats. Yes, technology is wonderful, isn't it? All right, so this is what it looks like when it's sewn. And then we'll just pop the teeth apart and fold those back, and there you go. Oh, and I was going to say, I haven't responded yet, but somebody had seen today my zipper jig video, and they commented that they just ordered one. So apparently the Myth Leather Co. website is back up and running again, and they've got zipper jigs on there. So if you were ever interested in getting one, now's the time because they are available. All right. Hey, Holly. Oh, I forgot to fold my corners or my ends in. Yeah, I'll just take this tape off. It's not a big deal. It's been a while since I've done a zipper placket. Hey, Liz. Yeah, I had these all marked up, and I'm going against my marks because I wasn't paying attention. It helps if you do stuff often to keep it fresh in your mind. But I've been spending a good chunk of my time in Photoshop. Nope, I need to keep those over. Oh, that sounds yummy. I'd love a heating pad too. Although I'm more of a 10 blankets, including a weighted blanket kind of person. I'm the only person who can sleep comfortably in my bed when I've got it set up like that. I can hear my Eskimo upstairs tap dancing on the kitchen floor. This is by Mormino. It's one of Lauren's patterns. And the whole reason this came about is on one of my previous lives, I was putting together a shelf. When I was done with the shelf, I started going through some of my hardware. And while going through my hardware, I showed a couple of pieces, and Lauren suggested putting it on the Valora. So I ended up plotting up a whole bag right there. And so I decided to sew it together this weekend. And I am absolutely loving it so far. I spent 4 hours last night plotting out, or not plotting out, attaching the hardware. So there's a lot going into this bag. All right, so put that down there. Nope, I got that backwards. I know exactly what I'm doing. I'm paying attention. That's what I'm doing. I put the DST on the wrong side. Let's try that again. I don't know if other pattern designers go through this or not, but when I spend all of my time working on one pattern, I tend to forget how to sew for a few days. So when I actually get to work on another pattern, it's total brain fart. Completely brain fart. So like I'm sitting here doing stuff that I completely forgot how to do. I know how to do it, just can't remember. Of course, it's not as funny when I am trying to sew my own pattern and I mess it up. That happens a lot. Why are you not lining up properly? That's good enough. Snip there. There. Is anybody else sewing tonight, or you just relax? And I know that Liz is nice and cozy. What is zip and grips? Ah, I think I only have like one of their patterns, so I'm not familiar with the rest. Yeah, I don't blame you. I have a tendency to drain every last drop of energy that I've got. So I could be watching somebody on YouTube while falling asleep in my chair. But I try and force myself to stay up because I don't want to miss it. Or my usual is I'll stay up for several hours on TikTok, which is back now, surprisingly. That didn't last long. It didn't even last 24 hours. Or I'll do an audio book and a idle game while laying in bed. So I will drain every last drop of energy until I literally just pass out. Oh, I think I've seen one of those, the square-shaped bags. Ooh. I would do both because I do audiobooks. That sounds like fun. My husband's at Target right now because he decided he needed to go and get coffee at 9 o'clock at night. Is it really big? I wouldn't mind having a physical copy, but I don't trust my youngest because he's still at an age where he likes to destroy things when he gets angry. And I don't think it would be fun to come in and find my bookshelf of books completely destroyed. So I'll wait till he's older before I start collecting those. I put this on the wrong side again. I'm supposed to pay attention and mirror things. Oh, wow. Yeah, it sounds about right. They're not short books. Good, though. Totally worth it. And you are not lined up properly either. Everybody got a household full of stay-homes tomorrow? Or are you guys planning on going out to do something? Mm-hmm. Oh, geez, that sucks. Household of sick is not fun. There's way too much of that going around. Yep, sewing sounds like a good deal. I have literal days off every day, so I don't always sew every day, but it would be fun if I could. I can't focus long enough to do that all the time. I have not tried any of those diamond painting kits. I don't think I'd have the attention span for those either. They look like somebody could really get like deeply involved. Are they like very time consuming, or do you just like do a little bit at a time and then go back to it? I wish I could sew every day. I have the attention span of a fish most days. I'll come down into the studio and sit down at my computer, check my email, check out Facebook, check out Instagram, pull up YouTube. And then the next thing you know, I just wasted 6 hours watching scary stories on YouTube and playing games on my computer. Not very productive, but entertaining. I remember in 2023, I actually sewed, I want to say, I did a TikTok showing 100 of my makes for that year, but I think I ended up getting closer to like 140. And then last year, I don't think I even hit 100, because a good chunk of that time was spent writing patterns and dealing with a very upset kiddo all summer long. But in my head, I was sewing. I was always plotting patterns that I was going to make or bags that I wanted to do. So in my head, I'm sewing 24/7. But in reality, I maybe sew 3 or 4 hours a week now. Trying to get back into it though. Things are finally balancing out everywhere else. Nobody saw that. Probably lube this up. Hello again. This jig is from Myth Leather Co. I actually have their site pulled up. I'll give you a link here. There you go. Oh, I believe it. You're welcome. I have a couple months ago I asked Garth if he would ever consider doing different sizes of those zipper jigs. And he said he would if people demanded them. So if any of you buy the zipper jig, which is, they're 7 inches long, and if you think you need a different size, make sure that you vocalize that. Because if enough people ask for it, Garth said he'd do them. And I would love that. If it was up to me, I would get one that's about 4 inches long and one that's about maybe 10 inches long. But I also do a lot of really big bags, so I think a 10-inch zipper jig might be a bit much for most people, but I'd be able to use it. Oh, here comes my son. You can hear him stomping through the house. Why are you whispering? Your dad's still gone. I don't know when he's going to be back. All right, there we go. There's a placket. I wasn't talking to you, kiddo. I was talking about this zipper thing. Totally not my fault. If he takes it out of context, that's totally not my fault. Where are you going? But you don't even have any clothes on. What? If you're gonna hang out down here, I think so. What if the camera accidentally falls and everybody sees you in your underwear?
Not okay.
No, it wouldn't be. And it wouldn't be fun. So if you want to hang out down here, I think you should put clothes on. My camera did already fall once. So it could happen again. No, put that back, please. If you want to be down here, you need to put on clothes. I am so glad that I just randomly decided to pull up the instructions because I would have totally forgotten that I have to put magnets on here. What, bud? Just go put on a shirt and some shorts.
Give me more time on.
More time on your tablet? I don't know if I can do that because I'm recording with my phone right now. Can you go watch a movie in your room? Your dad should be home soon. Hold on, I'll pull it up and see where he is.
You won't accidentally do something. Especially not my.
Oh, he's already coming. He is. He's right down the street. Down the street. He's right by the eye doctor. He's almost here. So go up to your room. Go on.
Love you.
Love you, bud. We're talking about sewing. We're always talking about sewing, aren't we? We're all just going to turn into a bunch of old women who have nothing better to do than talk about sewing. That's not code for anything. I think he's the only one with the dirty mind. I couldn't even say that with a straight face. Oh my God. Oh, wow. Yeah, I can't imagine that the shipping prices are very pleasant right now. Especially with it still technically being holiday shipping. Because I know everybody raised their prices. I'm still waiting for the prices to go back down. So, but that's going to be awesome when you get it. If you haven't seen my zipper jig video, I would recommend it because there's a few different ways that you can use it. Initially, I learned about this thing from Lauren, and this is back in like 2020 or 2021, and she was basically only using it to line up her zippers like in zipper pockets, but I started finding different ways to use it. So I use it to line up my zippers in zipper pockets. I use it to if you keep it like I left this margin a little bit too wide because I didn't do the I only did the 1/4 inch stitch in the seams, so I didn't shrink it down. But when you do a zipper pocket is typically a 1/2 inch wide or tall, and this is a 1/2 inch, so it will fit perfectly. It'll line up your zipper directly in the center of that zipper pocket hole. And if you use a zipper foot, you can butt it right up against the zipper jig and get perfect top stitching at just the right spacing and everything. I also use it when I use my lighter to, like, if I'm burning some loose threads, I just use it to kind of singe it out, and the coolness cools it down right away, also makes it nice and flat. I have this thing where when I do a zipper pocket, I always melt the threads to lock them in place, but I can't stand if you stick your hand into a zipper pocket and feel something rough. So I always have to use this to smooth out those burnt ends so that you can't feel them. So there's several different things that you can use it for. Oh, that's awesome. Not some secret adult club. Well, that could be. Truly could be. But I think we're all too boring for that. And what's hilarious is that the majority of the sewists that I know, they all read the same books that I read, which means they don't have a non-naughty bone in their bodies. It's almost like a book club sometimes. Oh, especially if you're in Jenna's group. She shares all the naughty all the time, every single day. You cannot be a prude and be in that group. Mm-mm. She knows where all the good books are from. You know, I was going to say, Liz, I would totally wear that as a nightie if I didn't constantly wear pants in bed because I get cold so easily. So I wear like sweats and a long tee. But that definitely looked nightgown worthy. And it really looked comfy. You said it was terry cloth or sweatshirt terry or something, sweater terry. I don't know what all those different clothing fabrics are. Oh, yes. I have tons and tons of naughty books. I'd say maybe 2% of my book collection is old Christopher Pike and R.L. Stine from the 90s. And then maybe another 2% of them are like, what do they call them? Not youth books, not teen, but like on the verge of naughty, but they keep it pretty PG-13. I can't remember what is that genre called? Um, anyway, it's a very minuscule amount of not naughty in my book collection. French terry. Okay. Yeah, I don't want to wear a towel unless I'm getting out of the shower. So I'll have to look and see which of the sites that I order custom from have French terry. Because if I'm going to be trying to sew any kind of clothing that I'm going to wear, it's going to have to look like my bags. Oh. We dropped. We're negative 11 now. Bamboo French terry. So that's like, that's still a similar type. The only cotton experience that I have is like those quilter cotton fat quarters that I used to buy, and now I've got a whole bunch of them and nothing to do with them because I don't typically sew with cotton anymore. But I'm sure I could make a very scratchy shirt with them. Ah, okay. Well, I'll take a look. Maybe the Custom Fabric Slayer has some. I know they got a huge variety. Make sure those line up. All right, let me see here. Okay, you're talking Fahrenheit, right? Because I was just looking that up, and that's like 130 degrees Fahrenheit if you're talking Celsius right now. Be burning up in the sun with that. But that's still nice and toasty. A little warm for my taste, though. All right, so I'm just doing a straight up zipper pocket on the other side because I wanted something to turn through, and I didn't feel like adding any other pockets. I think I've done enough modifications on this bag. Let's see here. I want, oh wait, no, I need to put this in first. See, I forget. I forget what the heck I'm doing here. Oh, Kiva, you shush. She's like my little guard dog alarm system. Oh my God. A fly farted in Mexico. I have to alert the world. All right. Nope, it's just a random make. I haven't opened up my custom requests yet, so everything I'm doing right now is just because. So I'll make them for a bit and then I'll accumulate them and then throw everything on my site all at once. Go back to the naughty book talk. All right, so what book are you reading currently? If you are a reader. It doesn't have to be naughty. If you're reading something that's not naughty, you can still say. I'm not going to hold it against you. Whoops. I just jacked that seam allowance up. Better fix that before the vinyl gets destroyed. Luckily, it's only about 1.5 inches, but still. I don't know what happened. My needle went rogue. I totally blame the machine. try to get you banned. Why would I do that? I can tell you, I read not only naughty stuff, I read the really, really weird stuff too. But I also like some sci-fi. Oh, well, that sucks. I didn't even hear my bum going out. So while I do enjoy a good naughty book here and there, there's also some other really good stuff. Like The Night Circus is one that I started and have yet to finish. I got distracted with others. And there's this series, the author escapes me right now, but the first book is called Cinder. And it's sort of a steampunk dystopian spin on Disney stories. Cinder would be Cinderella. There's a Rapunzel character. There's a Snow White character. There's an evil queen. But it's all a very funky twist on it. I love those books. And there is absolutely no adult naughty time in them. And then I can go flip the script and be reading, you know, werewolf naughty time or mafia naughty time, vampire naughty time. Lots and lots of variety. Naughty historical books like period pieces or history and all the bad things that have happened. I haven't heard of that. As The Wicked Watch and Watch Where They Hide. I haven't heard of those. I accidentally started paying for monthly Kindle. I meant to do a free trial, but I forgot to cancel it. So I've been collecting a bunch of books in my library that I have no idea what's in them. I just like the cover. I tend to do that sometimes. They say don't judge a book by its cover, so if I think it's got a cool looking cover, I'm not going to automatically assume it's good, but I'm still going to read it. Trying to remember what the name of the book is that I'm reading right now. I will say it's got two narrators, one male, one female, and it's pretty good. It's a shifter series, but I'm coming off of another one, so I'm trying to adjust at the difference in the narration. That's gonna bug me unless I look. Sarah J. Maas is actually really good. I like her books. Let's see here, am I logged in on here? Yes, I am. Okay, so the book that I am currently listening to is, I'm on book 2 or book 3. of the Dragon Shifter's Mates by Eva Chase. And I just came off of where'd it go? The author's name is Opal Rain, and she does the Dustwalker Brides series. Currently, there's only 2 books available on Audible, but she's got the whole series on Amazon. And that is probably the most odd I've ever encountered. Like, I mean, I've read some down and dirty, holy crap, this shit should be illegal kind of stuff, but it's my first time with something. These dust walkers are like animal hybrids. Like there's one that's got, they all have skulls. They don't have actual faces. They have skulls. And there's one that's got like a fox skull, but then he's also got fur on his body, and he also has feathers, and he has to eat people to become more understanding of humanity. And the more people he eats, the more his bones sink into his skin. It's really weird, but it was a good listen, especially with the male narrator, because he's got a very pleasant tone. Really good narrators too. The name Layla Frost sounds familiar. Which one, for the Dustwalker Bride series or for the Dragon Shifters? The Dustwalkers is by Opal Rain, and that's spelled Opalreyne. And the Dragon Shifter Mates is by Eva Chase. That's EVA Chase. And those both are series where you follow one couple through the first story, and then it carries on to somebody who was introduced in the first story, but it's their story, and so on and so on and so on. I read a lot of those. All right, so I think we attach the that's the sides next, right? Yes, sides and then the bottom. Yeah, there is absolutely zero judgment. Not here, anyway. I mean, I read a huge variety, from the very, very well-known authors down to the pay-to-read, really crappy written self-published stories, because sometimes they're actually pretty good. Other times, not so much. And it's always kind of awkward to read a book that's written in a when English isn't their native language. And so they use some kind of an online translator. And so the story that they're conveying doesn't come across the way that they wrote it. Or when they use that translator to translate their story, but at the same time, their culture is very different. Like they use certain titles for people, and it's not like titles that we use in the norm. And the demeanor of the characters and the way everyone speaks to each other. So it's it's always interesting when I get some kind of a culture shock in one of those independent stories, but it doesn't stop me from reading them. So I like a large variety. I also, growing up in the 80s, I also absolutely love those really crappy B movies. Watching stuff like Critters and Puppet Master and all the cringe horror. I love that kind of stuff. So figures that I'd be into the weird stuff in books as well. I do too, especially if I can find them outside of those apps, because sometimes they're actually selling their books on Amazon. Granted, some of them are charging incorrectly because they're basing their Amazon pricing on the pay-as-you-read sites. So they'll take like one book that's got like 150 chapters and they'll split it up into like 10 books and they'll charge you like $8 per book. So you end up paying like $100 for one book, and it's ridiculous. But when they're not overcharging, I do buy. I haven't heard of them, but I will have to go back, pull those names from chat. One very little known fact about me is that I've actually written several books. I haven't published them. Only one of them is close to being able to be published. It needs a final edit, and I want to add a new prologue, but aside from that, it's done. Only one person on the planet besides me has read it. I don't know if I'm ever going to publish it. It's not naughty, but it's on the verge of it. What's Storygraph? I haven't heard of that. It's not out there in the cosmos at the moment. It is in my Dropbox, and that's where it's going to stay until I decide to get around to working on it again. But I have also started book 2 for that one. But I should probably finish book 1 before I get too deep into book 2. can tell you that it's not a shifter series. It takes place on a ranch. It involves long lost and new love. Kind of has the potential to be a lover's triangle, but it's not. I decided I didn't want my characters to be mixed up in that stuff. But like I said, it needs a lot of work. But the one person who did read it was reading it as I was writing it. And she was very encouraging. And so the female lead in the second book has been named after her. Now I just have to get past the first 3 paragraphs that I wrote about it after I finish book 1. It's hard to put yourself out there when you've written something like that. Like any kind of book. You know, it's like if you self-publish, you may fail. And if you don't fail, somebody may try and take advantage of you. And if you go with a publishing house, you got to pay all these fees with your publisher, and you have to have an editor, and you have to do everything in your contract, and at the same time you gotta make sure that your stories don't go stale and do what you can to keep them afloat and all that fun stuff. What's taking him so long? All right, so this is not a part of the pattern, but I have just basted foam to the bottom of the lining. Just trim this down a little bit. Oh, so it's kind of like, what's that one? But he's supposed to stop watching TV in his man cave so he can watch TV with you. Goodreads, that's what I'm thinking of. I've got Goodreads. Oh, Nicole, I just saw your message. Yeah, I've seen that pattern before. I just didn't know what it was called. Yeah, Goodreads has been around forever. I've got only a few hundred of my read books on there because I don't always update it. I haven't updated it for a while. But it's a pretty good one. And I believe, don't quote me on this, but I think Goodreads may be able to be linked to Amazon, or rather to Kindle, and Audible. So if it can, then it could automatically list your read books. And I need to check and see if mine is connected because I've read a lot in the past few months. And I'd like to start keeping track again. There have been a few times where I've accidentally started reading a book again, not realizing until like chapter 5 that I've already read it, but then I don't stop and I end up reading it twice. Which I don't mind, but when I want to read something new, I want to read something new. Sometimes I like going in there for the comments because some people are just like ruthless. When a book sucks, they really let you know. I remember once I found a book on there that was written by a woman who unalived her husband. And the book is a children's book about how to deal with grief when someone passes away. And it turns out she unalived her husband so that she could write a book about it. Which is pretty messed up. But the comments, oh my God, they ripped her. If you can link Audible, you should be able to link Kindle as well. And maybe even some other apps. I know that when you find something that you want to read, and it will, like underneath the image, it will say the different sites where you can go to read the book. And any of the sites that are listed under that, you should be able to link to Goodreads. Oh, I'm absolutely serious. There's like been so many stories about this lady. I can't remember what her name is, but yeah, she did. And then she sat there and went through the grief process with her kid and, you know, told lies to like the school and the police, and she didn't know where he was, and it turned out she done it. She done it, and she wrote a book about it. And then her book was taken off of Amazon. I believe she's still in prison too. I hope she is. getting close to the end. I don't think I'm gonna do the handles on live because we've all seen handles done a gazillion times. But as soon as I get pictures, I'll definitely be posting it, and so whatever. Maybe the bag making besties and a few other groups. Gotta show it off after all this. Hello.
Hi.
What?
Me?
Yes, I said hello to you because you just came down here and didn't say anything.
Okay, hi. Say hi to me.
I'm saying hi to you.
Hi.
Normally I can't say hi to you because you drop and ditch.
Hi.
And say hi to YouTube.
Okay. I figured.
Yeah, I'm live. Look at this. Took me 4 hours to do all that hardware yesterday.
How much hardware is in
A
that?
ton. There's a ton in there.
How long did that take? Like, is that bag?
Just the hardware itself
Was 4.
was 4 hours.
Is that part of the same bag? That's a different. That's a
This
different
is the
bag.
lining for the same bag.
Oh. Okay. So black and gold.
Not gold, bronze.
Bronze.
I don't like gold, and I don't use it unless somebody requests it. Did your dad take your brother to bed?
I'm pretty sure, yeah. Yes. Nope. Yeah. You're not in bed yet, but yeah.
Well, they better be. It's 10 o'clock.
I'm brushing teeth. They're in the bathroom.
Oh. Is Kiva upstairs?
Yes, but I kind of want to go grab her.
Take her. As long as she stays quiet.
Right.
Don't want to sniff that. Why do you look so scared? Put your ears up. Put your ears up. Put your ears up. She's shaking.
She wants you.
Yeah, I know, but I'm a little busy. Just take her up to your room and cuddle with her. And that was my 17-year-old in a rare moment of niceness. Totally grabbed the wrong scissors. All right. Just make sure I didn't forget anything. Oh, I still have a few of those. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Maybe I can find something to do, or a way to put those on the strap. She better not be in there eating. All right, so I need heavy duty clip. I forgot to put the zipper pulls going in the same direction. Oh well. All right, so Lauren's got this so that you put the lining over the exterior, right? Let's see here. Turn the exterior wrong side out. It's already wrong side out. And the lining right side out. And place the completed lining inside the exterior. Okay. This is where I messed up previously because I ended up putting the lining inside of the exterior, but I did, no, how did I do it? Somehow I ended up sewing them wrong sides together instead of right sides together. It was a whole confusing thing. This is why I don't step out of my norm. Oh my gosh. She's eating bundt cake in bed. Ugh. Well, if it makes you feel any better, my son always leaves empty yogurt containers in my studio, like on a daily basis. Okay, so this has to be tucked inside. I don't even know which way is which. I guess it doesn't really matter. All right, so this slip pocket will be in the front. Run, Chloe. Yeah, but the older they get, the more they try your patience. It's like something they learn in school. I swear, a teacher teaches it or something. My daughter was a complete angel until she started middle school. Then the attitude started to shape. And now that she's in high school, yeah, the nice girl is a rarity for me. She says, I'm not like that at school. Well, that's because I'm not there at school with her. side are you on? I would hope so. In my house, unfortunately, it turns into screaming matches. Who can scream the loudest? And everybody gets loud until mom gets quiet. When mom gets quiet, everybody runs. Oof, I tell you, my kids are lucky though that they didn't grow up in the 80s or the 70s. Because half the stuff my kids put me through, if I would have pulled that stuff, my butt would have been raw. Just red, 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 red. Trying to save the children. All right, I think we're all clipped up. Welcome back, Melissa. All right, let me double check to make sure I'm not screwing this up because I do that. All right, so along the top panel half. So has anybody else made this one? Because I'm a little confused. No, I'm turning through the pocket. So I leave one of the sides open? Is that what you're saying? Fold the sides down. Is that why there's a gap when you sew the sides on? So like this? I didn't see that part. Of course. Let me go back. Oh, that was a while ago. Oh my God. Okay. Yeah, see, this is what gets me in trouble. I don't read the patterns. But at least it's not too late. I didn't sew any of the lining to the exterior yet. All right, I think to make this easier, I will just separate these, because why not? I didn't realize that it was drop-in. Okay, so I saw where she said to draw an inch and fold over. You would think that I would learn to read. Just because most patterns have similar construction doesn't mean they're all constructed the same. Yeah, she says to use DST, so I'm going to do that because that's easier. Yeah, I want to tear this as little as possible, as little as possible, because that's some hefty hardware there. Lots of sharp edges on the anchors and the big magnet. I'm less worried about the rivets and skulls. But I'm just glad that I didn't get too far into this. It's all good. At least I don't have to rip the whole bag. I think maybe I just got a little bit too cocky because every other pattern of Lauren's that I make, I don't use the instructions anymore. So totally my fault. I'm pretty sure that's about half. Yep, exactly half. All right, so there's that. Okay, so do I have to fold these sides too or no? Yes. The everything but the double cap rivets and the anchors is from Jenna. So the skulls and the magnet, well, the bag feet aren't hers either. Okay, so I don't see. Yes, it looks like these are folded as well. All right. You know, I don't know what's going on with Wawak, but lately their tape quality hasn't been as good as it used to. It keeps coming off the paper on the roll. It's really weird. It's a good thing I didn't trim my seam allowances, because I usually don't. See, there it goes again. It's just tearing. So weird. Who is it that makes that really strong double-sided tape that's terrible? Not terrible, but you can tear it. I need to try that stuff out. Weft and Warp. Okay. Yeah, because this, I usually live by this Wawak tape because it's so strong, but it's been making me mad lately. I mean, I'm sure a lot of places have a bad batch every once in a while, but it's a little frustrating when it's the only one I use. Okay, so there's that. Oh, she does? Oh, then I'll have to get it from her. All right, so we fold it back, I'm assuming, on the lining as well. Okay. I can check both. I do love a good seam rip. I just don't like it when I rip the fabric too. This might be easier if I turn it. Sounds like there's a few different options. Yeah, I've been curious about it for a while. I guess it never really occurred to me that having to pull out the scissors to snip it was very annoying until people started mentioning it. Because when I first started sewing, I was using some of that cheap Amazon tape and the dollar store tape. And that stuff you can tear. So I guess I thought that with the Wax stuff, it's more durable because you don't have to tear it. Or because you can't tear it, it's stronger. Which may be the case, but it is starting to get annoying. Now this one, just need to draw. Maybe I can pick your guys' brains a little bit on this one. So I just recently reached 1,000 members in my pattern group. And I'm thinking I want to do some kind of a giveaway. I don't know how long it's going to take for my new pattern to go to testers and how long they're going to take to test it. So I'm wondering, should I wait until I'm going to release that pattern and give the pattern away to a few members, or should I give away patterns that I already have, or should I like buy little gift cards for some shops to give away? I don't want to do like a whole huge, like a ton of items, but I want to do something. And there go my scissors. Thank you. A bat notebook cover? No. No, the next one is a bag. A big bag. Very, very big bag. Other than my 15-inch circle bag, it will be the largest bag I've ever created. Well, I've been toying around with that on my sketch pad. I have. Oh, nope, I gotta do the top too. No, I don't. I don't do the top. Never mind. Yes, it's a pattern for a parachute that you can keep lip gloss in and a wallet. Here, I will. The way it's staged right now, it looks just like any other tote bag. So I'm just going to show you that. So you can't really tell what it's going to look like. Just a little corner. Just a little bit. Oh, geez. Well, I would say go and get as much as you can, because if they close down permanently because they don't find a buyer, then none of that stuff's going to be available anymore. And a lot of the other places might start raising prices because they're not competing with Joann's anymore. Although there are some small businesses that currently carry ripstop. And you can get it custom printed. Liz. Just so, yeah, you can make a parachute. God, that reminds me of like hauling out the big parachute in gym class as a kid. And everybody gets in a circle, pulls it tight, and then runs underneath it, and it collapses on everyone. Fun times. Yeah, they're emptying out pretty quickly because they're not restocking anything. I'm trying to keep an eye on the overstock sites to see if they start to liquidate before they get sold, because apparently from what I read earlier, the only company that's put a bid on them so far is the same company that bought out Big Lots, and they liquidated Big Lots. Yep, I remember the beach ball on there. All right, there. So that should be good. I've got the sides of the top and the sides, the top of the sides all folded over with double-sided tape. Yeah, if you refresh the page, it's gonna default back to Top Chat. It's really obnoxious, and I wish there was a way to permanently set that. It's really frustrating. Well, in the instructions, it looks like you stitch the tops together, the lining and the exterior. That's got to be an Apple thing. I don't know why it won't let you change it. That's ridiculous. I still chuckle about that. But I'm sure you could probably come up with some kind of bag design that would be appealing to somebody who likes to draw on their bags. That wouldn't be permanent. That is crazy. YouTube needs to get their stuff together. Hey, there you go. That's a good idea. Do moon dance with chalkboard vinyl. People could sketch on it. And then maybe you can figure out a way to do like a clear flap so that, like, let me see here. This is not a moon dance. This is my tablet case. But like if you do the chalkboard vinyl on the whole thing, but then have some clear vinyl like stitched into the top that will fold over the full length and have like maybe a magnet on the bottom so that you can lift the magnet and pull back the clear vinyl right out on the chalkboard vinyl and then pull the sleeve back and close it with the magnet so that it's protected and it doesn't rub off when people like set it down or touch it. That'd be a really cool thing. All right, so got all those sides folded, and you can even see the folded edges in the illustrations too, so that makes me feel dumb. All right, so turn the exterior of the bag wrong side out, lining right side out. Place the lining in the exterior. Sew along the top panel using the seam allowance, starting an 1/8 from the edge, ending an 1/8 from the edge. Repeat on the other side. Okay. So now I think I'm caught up and accurate here. That is not too much to do. Just measure the outside height and width of the size that you're gonna make, and then just add like 1/2 inch seam allowance for the top, and then like you could even do a 1/2 inch seam allowance on the bottom and fold it over a magnet and just tuck it in when you attach it. I mean, look at me talking like I've actually made one. I bought the pattern, I just haven't made it yet. All right, I need to get this done because I really want to see what this looks like. Hold still, it's shifting. Well, if you don't do it, I'm going to have to do it. But I don't have any chalkboard vinyl. You do. Also, if I end up having to do it, that just means it's going to take even longer for me to finish my own pattern. Which means it won't be released till much later. I'm getting there. After I screwed up and didn't follow the instructions. Typical me. I really need to learn to at least peruse the instructions better. I gave it a quick glance. Well, okay, when I say I gave it a quick glance, what I really mean is I just basically looked at the pictures. I looked at the pictures and that was it. I can admit I made a mistake. I should have looked at more than the pictures. What can I say? I'm a visual learner. And by visual, I mean pictures and videos. What I should have done was, like, maybe while I was cutting it out, watched one of Lauren's videos. So I think she's got a few, doesn't she? On the Valora. I can work on the sketch a bit more. The only thing is I want to make it different so that it doesn't look like I slapped a bat wing on the moon dance or something. I'm not even going to look at that pattern because I want it all to come 100% from me. All right, so now pull the lining out of the exterior through the, oh, okay. So you were right about the whole turning through the side thing. I didn't get what you were saying. All right, so this way. So the whole bag like implodes to the side. I'm gonna break it. I need steam. I really don't want to tear it up. Oh, that's where my damn cloth went. I was looking for this the whole time Liz was live. I was like, there's oil over here and I need to wipe it up. Where the hell is my cloth? I could not find it anywhere. Stuck inside the bottom. Of course. I did not. Nobody said anything. You guys got the aerial shot. I didn't. Hey, I even showed my daughter. I turned it towards her and I said, look at all that hardware. And she didn't say anything. Oh my God. How rude. Well, what I wanted was to find it so I could use it. All right, so this is the part where I fast forward the video into about 10 seconds so you don't have to sit through me turning it. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna have to wipe this down with the newly found cloth before anybody gets to see it. Because right now my bag looks like it's been panting reading one of those naughty books. It's just a little moist. tuck this in. I'm gonna have to fix those sides where I ripped all the seams because I didn't pull the thread out. Why do you think I said it that way? Oh, funny. It's just a little moist. All right, let me get a few more clips in here, and then I'll show yous. Eva, what are you doing down here? I thought you were upstairs. Yeah, I think I might have to turn it back and reseal some of those side seams because I think I got a little overzealous with my ripping. Let me add the zipper. Oh my God, stop tangling. Behave. All right. Here it is. Oh, I didn't get the bottom poked out very well, but ta-da! I'm gonna have to go in and yeah, fix those edges now that I know where I screwed up. I'll have to poke out the bottom even more. But there we go. I do love how it looks, especially because the clay makes it look more rugged. I love it. So I'll get those seams fixed and get the corners poked out better. Give it a little steam to smooth it back out, and it'll be done. Yeah, I didn't really align the sides very well. So if I try and repeat this design, I'm gonna have to make sure that I get the actual measurements instead of winging it. I'm very happy with it. And now looking at it, I might be able to use it. It's still smaller than the Monica, but it's bigger on the inside than the Narcissist. So there's that one zipper that when I turn it back outside, I'm going to have to pull those clips and stitch up the bottom, since I thought I'd be turning it through the bottom. I didn't realize that it was drop in. So there's the slip pocket with the front zipper pocket, fully deep all the way down. I'm happy with it though. I am. I do wish I had gone with the red thread, but since I only do one of a kind bags, if I can find an alternative for the anchors, I can recreate this bag, same vinyl, same hardware, but with red thread, and it will technically still be an original because it won't be exactly the same. 5,000. I don't think so. I mean, for something like this, maybe I'll keep this one. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it looks when I'm done making it, or done finishing the fixes. If it looks good enough to sell, then I'll pop it up there, but it's not going to be that much. I'll have to do some math and figure out how much the hardware cost. And of course, I got to get the straps or the strap and handles done. Only 1,000. Nope. If I get this thing fixed to selling shape, I'm guessing that's what, 12, 17, 27. When all is said and done, there's probably about 75 bucks worth of hardware on here, maybe a little more. No more than like $90. So I'll probably mark this for around 185 to 200. Do not yell at me for that being too cheap. Because I know somebody wants to. I've never charged more than 175. But for something like this with all this hardware, it's definitely, I'd say it's probably worth a $200 price tag. The price is right. How much for this new bag? I'm happy with it though. It was a nice happy accident. I hear it all the time. I really do. But I don't charge for my time because I use it as therapy, and therapy is expensive. So if I can get my therapy out by sewing, then I'm getting the value right there. So totally worth it. And I think what I might actually do is stitch down the sides of the top while it's inside out, because I don't really like the little fold there. And I think I can get those corners poked out enough so that they won't be problematic. So in the instructions, it's just to stitch across the top. when it's inside out, but I would be going up the side, across the top, down the side. I don't think I could go to 250. There's not that much of a demand for my bags. So, but it is nice and big. And I was experimenting again by sewing the foam to the bottom of the lining. And I like how that feels. I definitely like that. So I think I'm going to have to keep doing that. And the reason I put that in there is because I am doing that in my new pattern. So it's got the nice soft cushiony bottom without having the thickness of foam in all of the other panels. So yeah, I like it. I'm happy with it. Just got to fix the boo-boos and clean off all the marks. Yep, I think it's about that time. It's 11 o'clock. I'm going to go curl up with a pervy book. But thank you guys for hanging out with me through my, God, what, 4, 5, 6, and how long have I been sewing now? Oh, it says on here. 2 hours, 19 minutes. So this is an 8-hour bag. An 8-hour bag, 4 hours on the hardware alone. Wow. Thank you so much. Yeah, I plan on going live more often. I need to. I'm also gonna try and kick my tail into gear for other videos. I've got a lot of footage that I've previously filmed that I just never got around to editing because I don't like editing. Prep. Well, I mean, you guys were there when I picked out all the hardware, and that took like 5-10 minutes, but the cutting was like maybe an hour. And then getting some of the other stuff ready, maybe half an hour. So total prep time, maybe an hour and 45 minutes. It really wasn't that long. Thank you. I'll think about it. I don't think it's going to be that much, though. I'll think about it. Let me get it cleaned up and get pictures taken and see what it all looks like, and then I will know for sure. So I'm not going to do all of the fixes on camera. I'm just going to make it like movie magic. See, that's what I'm talking about right there. I did not pull the threads out. I just cut them. So I'll just stitch back up to the top of that and pull the loose threads out. And then hit it with a bit of steam so that the vinyl can shrink back into place a little bit. True, I can, but the only problem with that is that I do have people who watch my site, and this happens all over. This isn't just with me. There are people who, I even do it on Amazon. You know, I'll put something in my cart and watch to see if it drops in price. And there are price watchers on my site who will start a cart and then keep an eye on the stuff to see if it ends up in the yard sale bin. I've watched as people have put the same bag in their cart multiple times, and then once it hits the yard sale, they buy it immediately. So I don't want to encourage that by saying, hey, this is a $300 bag. Just kidding. It didn't sell. Now it's $250. But wait, there's more. Now it's only $200, because then they're going to wait till I'm sick of seeing the bag and it goes on clearance. So high price for me is around $175 to $200. And if it sells quickly, then I know that the price should be more. So I have sold, the $175 bags, which are just like a narcissist with $40 a yard fabric. And those things are loaded with hardware. So I make sure that I at least get my material cost back plus a little extra. So I'm not really screwing myself over. It'll work out. So now it's 11:01. Rambled on for 11:02. Rambled on for like another 5 minutes. So I'm gonna let all of you guys to go to sleep because we need sleep, and we all need to go listen to our naughty books. And Liz needs to get her husband in bed so they can watch TV before she passes out. All right. Thanks for hanging, and I'll see y'all later. Good night.